Susannah's kiss. The hurricane subsided off the coast of Bermuda, rearranging 200 years of detritus on the ocean floor. The debris included the skeleton of a human male in excellent condition, considering its age. A small school of newly hatched pilchards took up residence behind his left clavicle. A sea urchin soon settled into the right eye socket. An octopus appropriated a hip cavity. Life continued as usual. It was not always this way, the skeleton mused. After 200 years, the last remnants of my canvas shroud are floating away in the outgoing tide. They sewed me into it as though frightened I'd escape, putting an arm in with me. The arm wasn't mine. They thought it decent for me to have two, I suppose. Arms can be hard to identify when they're all in uniform. I don't blame them. They had to get rid of us, what with the heat and all, and it isn't as if it makes much difference where we are now. The pastor gave us a nice send-off. High church, of course, and I'm Wesleyan Methodist, but they weren't to know that either. Requiescat in pace. Well, I'm doing that, me and the others. One of them was the young midshipman, a well-set-up young lad. Heard tell he was his father's only son. He's down here with me, a few yards to the right. You won't never make captain now, boy. The Scots carpenters away to the north, what's left of him. A man of few words, they used to say. He's got none at all now. Those Frenchies, they can shoot. I'll give 'em that. 2 cracked ribs to prove it. Shattered arm socket. Not much point in telling you about what the ball did to my heart. Nothing left to show for it now. But what a battle it was. The Frenchies caught us by surprise, they did, sailing straight for us around the corner of Gunpowder Island just on dawn. Our officers had us all on deck, even us pressmen armed to the teeth. They gave me a rusty cutlass and a blunderbuss my grandpa would have been proud to call his own. Half the time, it threatened to misfire, and the other half, it gave a kick like a mule and was 6 feet off target. I didn't get a chance to use the cutlass. Pressmen don't usually get to go into action, so I was glad I did it, just the once. A Devonshire farm boy on the far side of the ocean fighting the frogs. Would you believe it, eh? What the lads in the Pig and Whistle would say if they saw me here. Many a pint of refreshing ale and many an adventure we'd shared, but nothing like this. For half an hour, I was a hero. That half hour almost made up for the 6 months of rotting food and back-breaking work that came before it. The lads enjoyed a good story, a lark, a bit of an adventure, which was how come we'd been in Plymouth when the press gang was out. Napoleon's war was almost over, everyone said. No one had seen a press gang for months. I suppose in a way I didn't see them either. I just woke up in the bowels of His Majesty's frigate, the Jupiter, with a hangover. Well, we'd been celebrating even more than usual. After 8 years of courting, Susannah had agreed to marry me, you see, on her next Sunday off from the big house. She'd even lined me up a job as a stable hand with a cottage for us on the estate to go with it. So I had a lot to celebrate. We said goodbye at the stile. I leaned over and kissed her, and she let me hold her breast through the layers of her best dress. The summer's day was clear and cloudless. A lark sang his little heart out in the next field. Susannah's kiss, it all started with Susannah's kiss. Seaweed brushing my lipless grin doesn't begin to compare with it.